Fear paralyzed me head to toes. What have I got myself into? Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new here, hi, my name is Shayna, and in my little corner of the internet, we talk about spooky history of all kinds. Last week we talked about Nellie the ghost and the history behind that. If that's something you missed and would like to see it, I'll be sure to link it up here for you. Today we're going to be reading about two people's experiences in their haunted homes, and it's off Reddit just like I did in my other Reddit video. I was reading these the other day and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to read them to you guys and see what you guys thought, because I thought they were really good. So without further ado, let's get into it. This one's called Shadow Man Came Back Years After. The story that I'm about to share here happened to me when I was a little kid, yet it echoed back to me today when I'm 28 years of age. When I was about 6 years old, me and my mom shared the same room. My bed was located perpendicularly to hers and was positioned alongside a wall. I had an old spring-based bed with a small wooden headboard and same-sized footboard at the feet. If you were born in the 90s, you might still remember those. I was woken up by a strong feeling of someone's presence in the room. It was a weird feeling, but somehow I knew there was somebody watching me sleep. My mom had a graveyard shift at work that night, so it couldn't be her. I opened my eyes and tried to look around. Nobody seemed to be there, yet the feeling still persisted. I got up on all fours and built up the courage to crawl towards the footboard and check behind it. I placed both my hands on the board and looked down. Fear paralyzed me head to toes. A dark silhouette of a tall man was crouching there on the floor behind my bed. I slowly backed away from the footboard and hid under the blanket. Afraid to move in the cold sweat, I forced myself to fall asleep. That wouldn't have been good if that was me in that situation. I wouldn't have fallen asleep. I would have screamed and ran away. All this time, I have been unsure whether the man I saw that night was real or a product of my immature imagination. That is, until today. I moved out from my parents' house many years ago, and since we lived thousands of miles away from each other, now we get to do video calls every now and then in order to keep in touch. It's been 2 weeks since we last talked, so I figured I'd give her a call today. We talked about some random stuff as usual until my mom mentioned something that made my stomach drop. It happened 15 years ago. I had a separate room for myself by then, and my mom still lived in the same room. She woke up in the middle of the night, seemingly without a reason. Strong feeling of uneasiness wouldn't let her go. She got off the bed and headed towards the kitchen to grab a glass of water. Before she exited the room, however, she saw a dark figure of a large man sitting at the side of a dresser. He was just sitting there facing the wall, like if he was hiding, yet he didn't seem to notice her, just like he didn't notice me looking at him 7 years ago. I sat in awe as my mom was speaking. At some point, I could no longer hear what she was saying since my brain was too busy connecting the dots. Blurry images of that incident flashed before my eyes. The way she described it was precisely what I saw the night when I was 6 years old. I didn't know how her encounter ended because I couldn't help but interrupt her and share my experience with her. My mom thinks it was a domovoi, a spirit from Russian folklore that takes care of a house, which my mom is Russian. My Muslim friends say it was a jinn, and I can't help but think it was a shadow man. Whatever it was, I saw it with my own eyes, and my mom just proved that it wasn't just my imagination playing tricks on me. Seeing a ghost is creepy enough, but seeing them like on all fours, like just sitting there frozen, like that would scare me. Like, you know, in those movies, like I can't think of a specific movie right now. Maybe like The Ring. I don't know. That's when I really first like started messing me up. But when ghosts would like crawl on all fours towards you, like that's what it makes me think of. Which I know this one just sat still, but creeps me out nonetheless. Okay, the next one is what have I got myself into? I'm new to this Reddit thing. I've lurked on here for years. I guess I should start off by saying that I live in a 100% haunted house. My husband's family owns all the land around here ever since his ancestors came to Germany. His parents passed down their house to us last year. I've lived here before that briefly while we were getting on our feet, and it was just as terrifying as now. My first experience happened about 12 years ago when I met my husband. We came and stayed at the house for the weekend. I knew it was off off when I first walked in. You could just feel the energy change. I didn't mention it to him, didn't want him to think I was crazy. In the meantime, I kept quiet. Little things would happen here and there. I would set something down and it would literally vanish. My makeup would be put away, and in the morning it would be literally shattered on the floor. They didn't have animals in the house. There was no kids. Anything electronic would malfunction in the basement, and it was finished off into an apartment. Then as time went on, it got more physical. I would wake up to being slapped in the face. For a while, I thought it was just because I was coming out of a dream, until I was full-blown attacked in my sleep. I had bruises everywhere. My right eye was black and blue. My eye was red from a blood vessel. I started actually seeing things after I had my kids. When they were infants, I could see a lady walk into their nursery every night. It never failed. The TV would flip channels. One time it happened while I was feeding the kids. I paid no mind. I was used to it. Then I watched a bottle literally fly into the wall. I grabbed the kids and ran up to my in-laws. My mother-in-law went down, and whatever she did, it worked for a while. It persisted here and there, and I thought it was over. Fast forward to now. I've lived here a year so far, and it is more active than before. The kids are seeing things. I've been smacked in the face in the bathroom. The lights always flicker. Things vanish. Doors open and close on their own. Thermostat is always tampered with. The stove turns on and off by itself, along with the oven. Maybe I will start posting posts when things happen, so most likely I will post often. It's nice to finally talk about it, even if it is only on here with strangers. That's all, folks, for now. Oh my goodness, that, ugh. She didn't really mention here if things are happening to the husband and his family. It seems like things are really just happening to her. Like, since the house has been in the family for years, I'm assuming like maybe the ghosts like that family. Maybe the ghosts are actually the family members of her husband's family, and they just don't like her for some reason. I would not be living there for long, honestly. I'd be like, okay, we move in. But tell me what you guys thought of these two stories. I thought they were really interesting. Like I said, I would hate to live in a haunted house, but I just love hearing other people's experiences. They're just so real and genuine, you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. But I hope you guys enjoy this content nonetheless. Be sure to hit that subscribe and notification bell, because I upload every Wednesday at 10 a.m. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!